This is your guy Hector, host of the Yankees Morning Brew, and I am chilling with my man Pots and Pans, Jigga Man Portal.
Let's go, bro. What's going on, MLY News TV fam? We back on this Friday, bro. We have so much that we can talk about that gets yanked. But then we also got people that we got to give direct yankings to. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna jump on one that I feel like I gotta look in the camera and be like, sir, you about to get spanked and yanked at the same time. Like I feel like I gotta tell Pete, hey Pete, can I borrow Spanky right quick? Like Spanky could be our muscle, bro, and go handle this clown for us. Of course. All right?
Listen, Frankie, that's exactly what he is to the muscle. Shout out to the chat, to the entire NYY News family. Anthony Medina's in the chat. I see you, Anthony. L.I. Yankee King, the dawn of the wrestling ring is in the building. What it do? Fellow Ramos is in the building. What it's good. So many good news. But listen, we started off the show great last week, right? The Aaron Judge signing, right? It was amazing, right? It literally broke the internet. But then we got some good news last night. Carlos Rodon has signed with the Yankees. Pete broke it first. Let it be known that NYY News TV, Pete 780 broke it first. So everybody on the Twitter space, make sure you give my man his flowers. But there's also been a lot of signing. Carlos Correa signed with the Giants. And before we go a little bit further, speaking of Carlos Correa, you Yankee fans, right? I want to get your feeling on this because I had a little back and forth, on Instagram with a quote-unquote Yankee fan. And Pete, if you could load that up for the people so they can see what he said.
Let's look at the Yankee fan.
Yeah, let's look at the Yankee fan.
Let's check out this guy. All right?
Right. Me just pointing out that Carlos Correa, right, he's a fantastic player, an all-star player, right, borderline superstar, franchise changer. If he was to come and join your team, it will obviously make your team 100 times better, and it will obviously help you get a step closer to winning the World Series. But this Yankee fan, he said I was crazy. He said that, the disrespect that Correa showed Jeter. Correa's a cheater.
I mean, hold on. This man literally says, if you want Correa, you not real Yankees fan, bro. First of all, spell check. All right, my friend, grammar. It comes in play. All right, I'm a Yankee right now just for your public school education. All right, that's the first strike against you. All right, you not real Yankee fan. All right, okay. First of all, we established that. You want Correa, you're not a real Yankees fan, bro. I don't understand how somebody can say that, especially as a Yankees fan. If there's anything about our fan base, it's the fact that we pride ourselves on the fact that we have no name on the back of our jersey.
That's a fact.
All right. Hey, FYI, I will literally call every other player in this league that's not on our team doo-doo. And if said doo-doo is an all-star who becomes available next year,
yes, I
still want to sign said doo-doo.
Yes, and you can see how I literally just responded to him, right? Everybody understands. And if you know me, that I'm somebody, I want to hear everybody's opinion. I want to hear your take. And if that's your opinion, I'm respect it. But at the same time, you can't deny how good he would have made our team. Now, it's out the window because he signed with the Giants. We could skip past it. But I just wanted to get Yankee fans' sense on this issue. Pete, we spoke about it backstage. If Pete wants to chime in for a few seconds, he can. But obviously, if you're a Yankee fan, you just want to improve your team and get closer to getting that championship.
If you don't want Correa on the Yankees, and look, like you said, it's a moot point because it's already done. Right. He's going to be a Giant for the rest of his life. But if the same people that go talk about all the cheating stuff and this and that, he said this about Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter will want him on the Yankees, all right?
Exactly.
So enough of that. Derek Jeter wants good players on the Yankees. So if somebody came to Jeter, hey, Derek, we kind of wanted to let you know. He'd be like, what are you asking me for? Yeah, get him. He's a good player. Why wouldn't you want him? Who the hell wouldn't want him? Come on.
Right. Yeah. So I guess the best thing to do right here, Hector, is practice. And what I mean by that is Hey, Mr. Joaquin Sanchez 4 on Instagram. We got just 2 words for you. Get
yanked, baby. Yeah, I can't believe you put his whole Instagram out there. You know, we're not encouraging anybody to go.
We're not encouraging. Listen.
We're not encouraging. You know,
we're not encouraging. But if you put
Joaquin
yourself in the position, that's all Joaquin's fault. All right, Joaquin, get it together. All right, Yankee fan. You know how to use Instagram. Too far? All right.
Just a little bit. So,
chat. I want to talk about Actually, go ahead, Hector. I'm gonna let you lead the show, bro. You go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Because we just wanted to bring it up, talk about that Carlos Correa. Like Pete said, it's moot because he's already signed with the Giants. He's going to be a Giant for the next 14 years. But I just wanted to get the sense from Yankee fans and from you as well, Jigga Man, because we haven't spoke about this. When it comes to these massive contracts that players are getting nowadays, right? You see 14 years here, 11 years here, 12 here, 10 here. To see that the Yankees were able to sign our guy Rodon for only 6 years, tip I had to Brian Cashman. That's a good deal. And for the money also, it's not $30 million a season as everybody thought, but these big contracts that are being given out to players. I want to get your thought on this. Do you think further down the line that, this is something that the CBA is going to have to look into with the league? Because 14 years for a player who's 30 years old, I don't think Carlos Rodon is going to play the entire contract, right? No, it's just to give him that money for those last 3 or 4 seasons that he may retire, and the team and him may work out a contract when it comes to frigging out the salary at the end. What's your thoughts on that real quick before we continue?
Look, I think obviously something will happen where they'll change it and put some more rules around it, right? Mm-hmm. But look, if your team is willing and it's nothing illegal and you're allowed to find a loophole and say, hey, we're going to sign you for 20 years just to sign it, whatever, but I don't see it lasting long. We all know they'll put changes to that for sure. But I noticed in the chat, I guess Joey Gallo just got signed
I was just about to bring it up. That's why I had a smile on my face real quick. We got to get yanked without having the official get yanked. We got to talk. Joey Gallo is on the Minnesota Twins, bro. Minnesota. Right. Hey, you.
He went. The back cracker went to Minnesota. All right.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Just a boot.
Right. Listen, there's nothing to say get yanked on that. All right. As long as that announcement wasn't the Yankees signed Joey Gallo.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! I'm good. Don't even. I will close the camera off right now. But someone pointed out in the chat that they went from Sanchez to Joey Gallo, 2 bottom of the barrels, and they got that guy Max Kepler, who the Yankees better stay away from. Do not try to get Max Kepler. What's your thoughts on left field? What's your feeling on Benintendi? You think the Yankees gonna bring him back?
I think it still goes back to the whole Benny doesn't really want to be Benny from the Bronx, right? That's my thing. If Benny doesn't want to be here, it makes it a little harder. Do I want Benny back there? Man, we've had this conversation, Hector. I'm down with. I want Benny back there, right? I think if we got Benny there, that's a good piece. It's a great piece for us. But I might be getting myself yanked with this statement. Hold on. Uh-oh. Yeah, I might yank myself. At this point, bro, I'm only focused on subtraction.
Yes.
And I mean subtract Donaldson, subtract Hicks. Like every other, when that Rodon signing came out yesterday, everybody's reactions were, everybody was bugging out, right? My first reaction was, what's next?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not a bad way.
That's all you can have.
Ecstatic that we have it, but what's next? Because to me, it's, yes, we are having a successful offseason. We can say that. After that signing yesterday, the Judge signing wasn't enough to say it was successful. But now you add Rodon, now we can say we're having a successful offseason, but there's still work to do. So I don't care right now, about the Benintendi situation. And maybe that's because my feelings are hurt, right? You don't want to be here? All right. Maybe my feelings are hurt, so I might have a little bit of anger issue with him. But, bro, my focus right now is Hicks and Donaldson gone. Like, that's my conversation. Anybody in the chat, you find yourself at home, bored, there's no Pete Simonetti going on, there's no Yankees brew going on, tag me and say, hey, you want to talk about Donaldson and Hicks? I promise you, I will have all the time.
That you're gonna need your heart blood pressure medicine for that conversation. But I want to just shout out the chat before we continue. Fritz Walters in the building. Mr. Fritz, I see you. Rashawn Thompson is in the building. Rashawn, what it do, baby? Mr. MP himself. He pointed out that Machado could opt out next winter. He has that clause in his contract to opt out. Maybe he could be an option at third base and we go through that roller coaster again. Who knows? Michael Harvin is in the chat. First of all, having a first and last name like Michael Harvin, I'm pretty jealous, bro. Honestly, very jealous. I wish my last name could have been Mr. Harvin. But going forward, you point out great points when it comes to Josh Donaldson, right, and Aaron Hicks, right? And this is a conversation that you could go on for hours and hours and hours on. But if you had to choose If you had to get one of those guys off of the team, who would you rather keep and who would you rather get rid of? If you only had the option of one.
Bro, there's no question. I mean, I don't even have to debate it. It's Hicks.
Yeah.
It's Hicks. I can deal with Donaldson. I really can.
Especially
like, I'm not going to. Right. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, devastated if he's still on the roster, right? Like, something doesn't come to life. But I will be devastated if Aaron Hicks is still on this roster.
Yeah.
Point blank, bro. Look, I mean, even in the chat, Medina, what up, my guy? He said exactly. Where is it? Right here. He said, hey, Hicks and JD, get yanked. Exactly.
The both of them. The both of those. Both of them. No, but, you know, and understanding that right now, according to FanGraph, right now, the Yankees payroll for next season, projected payroll, is at $272 million. It's according to FanGraph, right? Okay. The Yankees don't want to go over that second 290, 293 threshold. So we got to get off of one of those contracts, either Donaldson, either Hicks, even, you know, Gleyber Torres, who's making $10 million next season, right? So if Gleyber Torres is basically making $10 million next season, Aaron Hicks is making $10 million next season. If you can get off of both of those contracts, even eat $5 million from the combination of 20, you still have enough money to sign Andrew Benintendi. The thing that's keeping the Yankees and Andrew Benintendi apart right now at this moment is that Benintendi and his team and his people, they want 5 years. The Yankees, they don't want that major gap, right? They only want 3 years.
What are we at right now? 4 at 52? Is that right? No. Actually, that's what with Benny. Do you know what the offer is that we have into him right now?
I don't know the offers, but I know the years the Yankees apparently, according to reports, don't want to go over 3 years, right? Yeah, so if you think of it, 3 years, 18, 19 million per season, you know, 20 being the max, that's 60 million right there, right? So if you can get off of Donaldson or if you can get off of Hicks or Torres, you're sitting under that 293 threshold with some money to spend when the trade season come back around.
Do you think if they did extend the years a little further, maybe like 4 at 52? For Benny would make the deal happen?
Maybe.
He's wanting 5 or more is what
he wants 5.
Speculation.
He wants 5.
Do we think a 4 at 52? Would we want to do a 4 at 52? As a fan base?
I just think the Yankees, they do not want to clog up left field because they already got Judge for 9 years, right? They most likely are going to want to keep Harrison Bader. So they don't want to clog up left field because you got to think of it. When you look at our pipeline, Dominguez could be knocking on the door in a season or 2, right? Everson Pereira, he is shooting up the pipeline that he may contend for a job in the outfield this spring training, right? And then you still got the super utility Oswaldo Cabrera, Ozzy, who could play left field, second base, third base, shortstop. So you don't want to clog yourself in left field when you're trying to bring back Harrison Bader.
Hold on. Can someone verify if Donovan in the chat is dropping facts? News. Outfielder Andrew Benintendi is in agreement with the Chicago White Sox on a 5-year deal.
What?
Oh, hold on. Let me check in with our producer. Producer, backstage. Can you tell me, producer?
Jesus, God.
Jesus, that you back yet? Why does Jesus sound like Pizza Minetti in my ear, bro?
It is true. Andrew Benintendi is going to the White Sox, and it's funny. I actually and I didn't put the information out there, but my team knows in our chat. I actually told him today, and I talked to Ozzie Guillen Jr. today, and he also told me about it that it was either Minnesota, it was the AL Central, per my understanding, for a while, that it was either the Central either the White Sox or the Twins. And I told my team, because he told me this morning that they were making a strong push for him today to land Benintendi. So Benintendi's out the pitcher as I expected.
Ooh. Yeah. And I saw a tweet earlier, which is funny. One of the guys wrote, and I believe he was a Twins fan. He said, if we sign Gallo, Benintendi doesn't come here and he'll go to the White Sox. So that guy obviously knew what he was talking about.
Well, we could put to bed the conversation that we were just having for the past like 10, almost 5 to 6 minutes.
Chat, chat. We're sorry for wasting the last 5 minutes of your time talking about Benny, who no longer wants to be from the Bronx. Ready to the Yankees.
Rest in peace. But he had one of the coolest nicknames, Benny Blanco from the Bronx. We had a little taste of Benny Blanco from the Bronx, but it didn't work out. Just thank the heavens and thank the stars and the creator and everything that's high and mighty that he didn't wind up with the Houston Astros, because that was my main issue with the whole thing.
Yeah, if you look, Marco said it as well. As long as Benintendi didn't go to Houston, great call.
Exactly.
Right? We're all on that same plane. Conforto is an option, but a plan F. Louis Chiappoli.
Plan F.
No, that's Plan Z, my friend.
Yeah, right? I was about to say it's that grade that that they put on your report card that your parents have to speak to the teacher because that's how bad you did. That's right there. That's a Plan Z, right? That's literally a Plan Z. But now it's up to Brian Cashman because we'll save the rest of the conversation for later when we bring up the Michael K tweet. But let's move over to the Jeff Passan tweet if Pete can load that up for us. And Passan reported on it when it came to Carlos Rodon. He got it out there. John Heyman will show his tweet as well. But Carlos Rodon is a New York Yankee. We got our guy, Mr. Carlos Rodon, 6 years, $27 million per. Not sure how if they go to front loaded heavy and leave the back end a little bit less for the later years on in that career. But Carlos Rodon, left-handed Carlos Rodon of the New York Yankees on agreement on a 6-year, $162 million contract. Yankee fans, let us know how you feel about this signing. I had a lot of the optimism. Like, granted, I was in the barbershop and there was some guy that I literally had to yank him out of the barbershop. He got yanked out the barbershop because he said that Carlos Rodon was going to be the left-handed version of Kevin Brown. What's your thoughts on that? Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm glad we brought this tweet, right? Because some people be like, wait, why would this tweet get yanked? It's a matter of all the stuff that came after this tweet, not just from him, but the people that have comments about it, the articles that came out. Like, here's one. You ready, Hector?
What's that?
Yankees give Carlos Rodon 6-year, $162 million contract. Now, all of a sudden, believe they're the best pitching rotation in the league. Joke's on you. That is literally the article.
When you have stuff like that, go ahead.
First of all, 6 years, 162. I know none of us are mad about that.
No.
None of us.
No, it's not 7 years. It's not over $200 million. Easy.
Exactly. So, but you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me, not just as a Yankees fan, anybody, you're telling me we don't possibly have 2 aces right now or more with the rotation we have? You're going to sit there and tell me Cole and Rodon don't make a killer 1-2?
Now,
Nestor doing what he does, Sevy started looking hot. You're telling me just with those 4, forget Montas, right? I'm not high on Montas yet. You need to prove something to me when the season starts.
Same.
You're going to tell me that we possibly don't have one of the best starting rotations in MLB after that signing?
At least 1 through 4, right? Because if you look over the Queens, right, and granted, the Mets are the Mets, but Verlander, Sturzer, cool. They have 2 top 2 pitchers, right? But you don't know what comes after that. You don't know what Senga's going to be, right? You don't know what comes after that, right? When you look at the Yankees, and you pointed it out well, when you have Garrett Cole, and then you have Carlos Rodon, right? And there's some people saying that Luis Severino could be the 3rd starter and Nestor Cortez the 4th because you don't want to have 2 lefties back to back. Right. If you're having a conversation.
Wasn't it Pete who actually put a tweet out the other day, right? Where it was his rotation, right, left, right. I liked it.
I do. I like it. Yeah, because you don't want to have people, you don't want to have that lefty back to back, and I totally agree on it. If you're having a conversation that Nestor Cortez, who was an all-star last year, who had one of the lowest ERAs in the past 20 seasons when it comes to a Yankee starting pitcher, he's going to be a number 4 starter. That definitely has to be in the conversation for number 1, if not top 3 starting rotations in the league. And granted, when it comes to October, and we've had this conversation, I had this conversation with Pete many a times. When it comes to October, it's been mostly our hitting that has failed us, right? Our starting pitching has been solid, but it's been mostly our pitching. Our hitting. Adding Carlos Rodon to that rotation and that equation is just going to help out a lot more. And having 2 studs right on the top with Garrett Cole, who's fiery himself, and Carlos Rodon, who is fiery also. And that's why the Yankees made him a prime target, because they loved his fire and his moxie. And I just can't wait for the season to start. And this is a perfect storyline, right? To start the season, the Yankees have Aaron Judge and Carlos Rodon facing off in a series against the San Francisco Giants. Sign me up, pay-per-view.
Let's go. So here's a couple of things that came out that don't get yanked. Things that I actually enjoyed reading off of this, all right? You've got Yankees rotation becomes elite. SB Nation put that out this morning. Fangraphs, Yankees possibly have the best starting rotation in the league after Rodon signing. Now, I'm going to tell you and the chat, this is how I feel yesterday may have possibly played out, bro. So let me ask you: do you think Cash was on the phone signing Rodon, or do you think it was Hal?
It was Hal. It was Hal.
It was, right?
Cash has come out recently and said that Hal Steinbrenner was the closer in that Judge deal.
Exactly.
And Hal Steinbrenner, he felt Yankee fans turning on him when Arson Judge signed with the Giants. He doesn't want that feeling again. He doesn't want to get booed at Yankee Stadium. So he's going to try to do what he needs to do to improve this team. And I've seen someone said 5 years, $72 million for Andrew Benintendi. If that's 15? The numbers, that's a steal. That's definitely a steal. Well, if I'm the Yankees, I would have.
Just because we want to go up the year.
I would have tried. I would have tried to trade him in a couple of seasons because it was low money.
Let me read out the super chat. Rashawn Thompson, my brothers, que fue? I need the Yankees to bubble wrap Rodon and get him ready for the Bronx. I also need the Yankees analytics to leave Rodon alone or get yanked.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Facts. Rashawn,
absolutely.
I'll tell you, not just this show, but all the shows that he's in the chat with his super chats, he always be dropping some solid facts.
A little salt.
So listen, so we agree that Hal was the one that closed the deal, right? So this is what I pictured, bro. Okay, and you tell me if you think I'm crazy, but he was like, "I'm glad we got this deal done, Mr. Rodon, Mr. Boris." Hung up the phone, and then he instantly looked over to Cashman and said, "I saved your ass from getting yanked tomorrow." No,
it's literally like that scene for Wolf of Wall Street when he gets on the phone and at the beginning when he first walks into that low level trading place where he gets on the phone and everybody starts circling and da. That's exactly what Hal Stein. That's what I'm picturing. You know, I'm picturing how they were on a little private little private boat. You know what I mean, a little private yacht. They had somebody in the violin and the bat. They had a cleaver for Brian Cashman's head, but the deal was done. The deal was done.
I look, I don't want to show any favoritisms in the chat, but I think there's a new viewer in the chat who actually commented for the first time. I don't even think we're bringing up comments on the screen, but there's one in that says Jessica Porto. Oh, hey, wifey. Come on now. Come on.
Shout out to Jessica Porto. Shout out to the queen herself. But yeah.
Yo, before we jump to the next topic, I know everybody in the chat, we're still talking about the whole Benny situation. Mm-hmm. What the heck? So we were dead set on not going to that 5th year, obviously.
Yeah.
Because at that price, we literally said no because of the years, it seems like.
It probably came down to that. It came down to the years, or not just the years, but his comfortability. He wanted to go out to the Midwest. He's in Illinois. He's in the south side of Chicago. Maybe he's just comfortable over there because as great of a player he was, right, when he was on the Royals, when he came to the Yankees, his batting average did drop from 320 to under 300 before he got on fire for a little bit before getting hurt, right? So his batting average did drop just a tad bit when he came over. So maybe he's just comfortable not in a big market because him and the fans, they had a falling out as well. There's another super chat in the building. I'll read it. NYY News, Mr. Ruben, salute, 3 capital S's, my man. He said, had to be the 5 years. I give Benintendi a Uber ride. And he told me in Staten Island in 2019, he told me his family were Yankee fans, especially his grandfather is a diehard. Wow. That's good to know. My man gave him an Uber ride in 2019.
Did he tell you he didn't want to play for the Yankees?
That's probably what it was.
That just his family wants. But again, you know, rumors are rumors. So Hector, I mean, obviously we got the Reynolds conversations. We've got you know all this stuff. Where are you leaning? Like, what is the move that makes the most sense?
I want to see how many times LI Yankee King can span Esteban Florial in the chat in 1 minute. So we need to put a timer on the screen to see how many times LI Yankee King can span Esteban Florial in the chat. My man Elias, appreciate you, my man. But no, it's time to pivot. It's either one of the 3 outfielders from Arizona, or we pivot onto Brian Reynolds. If the asking price for Brian Reynolds is a bit too high, we may have to call Arizona and take a look at one of those 3 young guys, right? But when it comes to them, Pete put a video out, right? When it comes to all three of them, they're above average defenders and they bat from the left-hand side in Yankee Stadium.
Can I jump in real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I was also just told just now that over the last week, the Yankees have kept up conversations with Michael Conforto. So I wouldn't be shocked if they went that route. I still expect trades, to be honest. I hope to God it's not Max Kepler, but I still expect there to be a couple of trades or something to happen. You got to remember, too, the Yankees' 40-man roster right now, I believe, is like at 43. So they got to make some sort of move. So just wanted to throw it in there about Conforto because that's a new legit possibility.
I appreciate that, Pete. Appreciate that.
I mean, we knew if we did sign Rodon, we were going to have to figure out it was going to kind of move over to trade season for us at this point, right? And that's kind of where we're at. We got to get rid of guys. We're at 43 on the roster. And I've got 2 to help. Look, I can help with the process. I got 2 you can get rid of right now, okay? You don't even have to bring anybody back with them. Just get rid of them. That's it. But we got to let the Reynolds thing go, bro. I don't see Reynolds. It's not a possibility in my head.
Yeah, the asking price may be a bit too steep. And we've had conversations about the Yankees not being willing to trade Jason Dominguez in a trade because they invested so much money and effort and time into this young man. And I wouldn't trade him either, right? Because if the conversation is, right, and let's just have this for 2 seconds, that Jason Dominguez could be what Brian Reynolds is, right? This is the ceiling for Brian Reynolds, right? When the Yankees, when before he was even signed by the Yankees, the comparisons when it comes to Jason Dominguez was Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout. Right. So if the floor is Brian Reynolds, the ceiling could be a superstar with this young kid. And I don't want to give him up. I may be a greedy Yankee fan. This is not Clint Frazier, right? This is not Chance Adams. This is not Miguel Andujar. Jason Dominguez is years and years ahead of them when it comes to baseball talent.
Yeah. Real quick. NYY News Ruben want to let you know it didn't stand for Staten Island. It stands for spring training. That's how you know you New York, bro. You took initials and made it New York. It don't matter.
No, that's like, what it is. Years of working EMS and driving ambulances. Right? I seen that. Oh, it's a capital ST. Cool. That's Staten Island.
So spring training, that sounds like a better place to be.
Okay, in spring training, makes sense.
More sense.
Makes sense a lot more. Because I was about to say, what was my man doing in Staten Island? You know, they got some real good pizzerias and Italian food in Staten Island, but it's like, all right, cool. I see you, Benny Blanco from the island.
Right. And then I love how Eli, after you said for him to spam, he was like, nope, not getting banned.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not getting banned.
Nope.
As they pointed out in the chat,
timeout.
as they put in the chat, there's 200 people in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's to everybody who's in the building. If you can, hit that like button, right? Help NYY News TV get out there, right? We are building, we are growing. Thank you to the boss, Pete 780, for giving myself and Jigga Man this platform on this channel because it's been amazing, bro. It's been awesome so far.
And now that he feels good with that moment. By the way, bro, you know what? Before we jump in, if you want to start getting ready, Pete, to load up the next one, I just realized, bro, would you go get yourself a nice little haircut and a shave
I got
today?
A haircut. Yeah,
I had to, bro. You're looking like you're 12 years old on episode 2.
I had to look good. I had to look good. You feel me? I can't let you and Pete be the only good looking bastards we got on this channel. You know, I just can't. You know, I was looking like a werewolf last week on a debut episode. My guy was in the Dominican Republic. He just came back this week, so I was glad I was able to get a cut. But
that's good. I'm gonna snip this and then see where we are when we're at like episode 50 and see how bad you look.
Yeah.
How about this one? John Heyman, Rodon to the Yankees.
I'm just surprised that he spelt it right. I'm honestly just surprised he spelled
I'm more excited about the LI comment underneath. Heyman, I swear, if you blue ball us.
That's why I wanted to have it on the screen because of the LI Yankee King, literally right underneath him, right? Because LI was right there, right? That's literally only the reason why I wanted to have it. But I'm glad he didn't put Raiden to the Yankees, right? Even though I love Mortal Kombat, it would have been dope to have Raiden on the squad. But I'm just glad that he was able to spell things correctly. His Scrabble board did not fail him this time.
Yeah, but let's be real.
I gotta throw this out there real quick. Speaking of names, like funny names, right? Yeah. So Christian on our channel, somebody tweeted him with a great name for Carlos Rodon. He went full Italian with it. He called him Carlos Maron. I had to throw it out there. John Heyman isn't cool enough to do that though, but
he's not. He's definitely not. Get the t-shirts done. We got to get some t-shirts done. Carlos Maron.
Perfect. Listen, you know what? Look, I'll tell you nicknames and stuff. I'm gonna be calling Rodon the Car. His initials are CAR, bro. Right? That's that new car fresh smell coming to New York, boy.
Yes.
We should get a shirt. New car smell in the back, just CAR. Like things like that, right?
Because you can't beat a new car smell, right? And it only lasts for several hours before you start farting inside of that car. But you can never beat a new car smell, my guy. But no.
So in all seriousness, let me ask you, Hector. At this point, though, for John Heyman, do you think people see him put a tweet out like that and they're just like,
yeah, that's
at this point, right?
At this point, you've seen Li's comment. Literally, that's literally one of the first things I wanted to write. I couldn't trust you, bruh. I can't trust you, bro. Because honestly, it's the arson judge thing. It's last year also with the other mishap that he has had in the past. But John Heyman, he has been a value. I shouldn't say value, but he has been a source for information when it comes to news dropping over the years, right? He had a hiccup, but right now you need to own the fact, Heyman, that you was literally probably the meme of the year. When it comes to 2022, arson judge could go down as the meme of the year.
We'll make sure to keep bringing it up just to make sure it does.
Yeah, we already got a few more weeks.
Bro, I got to tell you, I'm watching the chat while we're talking.
Go ahead.
The chat's not ready to move on from the Benny conversation. So if it's cool with you, let's sit here for a second because
let's go.
I think everybody's a little confused on the.
I'm very confused.
Only 15 and we didn't sign.
You add 272 with just your payroll, not even including with the luxury, because with the luxury tax and the penalty that you got, it's going to be like 290 and some change. But right now, for the base of it, it's 272. 15 million would have kept you under 290. You wouldn't even have to trade Torres. I want you to trade Hicks, but you wouldn't have to trade Torres.
See, but doesn't this then go back to the fact that, hey, maybe it was true. Benny made it clear he didn't want to play here.
Yeah.
Right. But then I saw somebody in the comments, and maybe I can go in there and find it. But someone said if they weren't willing to go to that to meet what he wanted, then obviously they really are working on something else. Which I know we got other tweets to pull up, and I don't want to throw Pete out of order. So, Pete, if you want to pull up the next one, and then we'll get back to the other one.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Sonny in the chat. It's like farming in a new car. I can't see or unhear that one.
And thanks for tuning in.
I want to do a little roll call real quick before we continue. Tyler Tabbitt is in the building. Mr. Tyler, what it do? Richie Martinez, I see you. Vic Mauricio, I see you, baby. Jason for 161 River Ave, my man, what is good, dog?
Oh, stop right there. You know what? I think it's back on the screen. We got the next one. They are in on Rodon, but then I heard that there's something even bigger that they're working on. And we brought this one up last week, and I'm not letting it go. This, Michael K., I love you, bro, but again, get yanked. Because here we are, the Rodon signing has happened, the Benintendi is gone, and I'm still waiting for this so-called big epic signing.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give this an 100% get yanked, because literally right when we get off, look at all the news that's been dropping while we've been on for this past 33 minutes, right? But if a move doesn't come, if we're stuck going into next season with just some mediocre left fielder that's a veteran, I can't even think of a name right now, but if we just to go out there with just Cabrera and some random left fielder, it's not a big move. Right, all the big time moves are off the Correa's off the boards. Andrew Benintendi, that's not a big move, but he's off the board. What is it? I don't think it's Brian Reynolds, because I don't think the Yankees want to pay the asking price for Brian Reynolds. So what's that big move Mr. Michael K., the thumb himself, was talking about?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, I see you in the chat. You said it could be a trade, right? Yeah, I mean, but what could it what is that one thing that's going to really be like so epic? Because the way that's written, it's supposed to be something really big. Really big. But I want to point out too, Jason, what up, my boy? 161 River Ave. He mentioned Chicago's a big city too. So he's not buying the narrative of Benny didn't want to be in a big city. Because he's right. Chicago's not a small market.
It's a baby big city.
But it's not considered a baby city.
Westchester is a bigger city than Chicago.
All right, fine. Jason, he disagrees.
White Plains is a bigger city than Chicago.
So realistically, though, trade season, forget the Reynolds conversation. I'm sorry. I know people want to keep having that conversation. I don't. I just don't see it happening. If it does, nope. I just don't see it happening. What the asking price is doesn't make sense. I want the chat's answers, and I want yours before we end the show. What would that one piece be that you think really would be the, Schnikes? That's what they're doing?
I don't. Giovanni Ortiz, come on. The lights in Chicago's ain't bright enough. Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you.
I didn't say they were better or bigger than us, but it's still technically not a small city.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
it's a little hiccup. It when people coming out of like the farmlands area and stuff like that, when they think of a city, right? Chicago is like that baby step before you go to New York and Los Angeles. Let's be real. Let's be real.
All right, no, fine. Anyway, you know what? Unplanned topic. Chat list. What would you put as 3 cities that are 3 major cities in your eyes when it comes to sports?
New York City, Los Angeles, and
Miami. Okay, and then your next round, you're telling me Chicago's not on that list?
Well, just for the sake of argument, I will put Philadelphia ahead of Chicago.
For right now, no. For
right now, no. I will put Philadelphia right now.
I'll put Philly and Boston ahead of Chicago.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Pete.
What is Chicago doing? What is Chicago? Al Capone died, and Chicago died with it. What is it? Come on.
Exactly. Now. It's a fake. Chicago? It's a fake pizza. They decided just to fill the meat-loving pie with pizza ingredients. I'm sorry. The Chicago style pizza is not a real pizza. I take that to my grave.
Well, I guess I will just join the rest of the chat. I'm just going to talk in the chat. So I guess I am getting yanked. I literally just wrote it in the chat. All right. Thanks.
No, you're not getting yanked, brother. You're not getting yanked. But no, now we have to figure out what are we going to do in left field, because I don't think we could go into the season because it's great adding Carlos Rodon to the team. It's awesome. It's phenomenal. We need to add another bat. And now the obvious answer is Brian Reynolds. But I'm not sure if the Yankees are willing to pay that asking price. Now, granted, when it comes to the Yankees this offseason, they were able to sign Carlos Rodon for less than what people were expecting when it comes to the annual. We'll give them credit when it comes to that. Everybody was expecting 30 to 35 million per season, right? So it could have been anywhere from 180 to 210. That's what people were expecting. He signed for 27 a year. Right. So now it's time to pivot. Are the Yankees, are they going to be able to pull off a move for Brian Reynolds without giving the top 3 prospects, Volpe, Peraza, and Dominguez? Now it's time to see how Cashman if he can actually play chess, or that man is still on the checkerboard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the chat, you got people sitting there saying they're stumped. Giovanni Ortiz, man, I'm so stumped. I have no clue what the next move is.
Are you guys really? What's your take on Conforto though? Because he is a left-handed hitter, right? If we can get Conforto on a 1-year prove-it deal for minimum money, are we willing to go that route? And if he bombs, what do we don't have a left fielder now? We got to go with Cabrera. And granted, I love Cabrera as a player, but he is so important to the team because he could just play. He could play so many different positions. You just don't want to lock him into one position in left field.
Yeah. I mean, we can speculate and we have no choice. We're just going to keep speculating, right? So the one thing that I find peace in is I can stand strong on the fact of saying, please not Hicks. As long as it's not that, we're good. And in the chat, man, they talk about pizza, making me hungry. They're talking about Meredith Marakovits is going to be wearing high heels and pitching or something. Things are getting weird in the chat. Guys, smash that like button for us.
That's a fact.
First of all, Meredith Marakovits pitching with stilettos on, get yanked, all right? We ain't doing all that, all right?
Philo Ramos, New York is the best. New York pizza is the best. And that's a fact, bro. That's the fact. It's because the tap water, the New York City water is filled with mobsters' bodies that have been decaying for years. And that just adds so much flavor to the water and to the pizza.
Just like that. Enjoy your pizza tonight.
No, but somebody pointed out Varsho and Reynolds.
Oh, Spanky. He's telling them, like the video. You hear him. Tell him, Spanky.
No, but Varsho or Reynolds. So it's going to come down to those two, right? Those are going to be the two things. When it comes to Varsho, right, from Arizona, trading for him, I'm interested to see if the Yankees can dump either Josh Donaldson and Aaron Hicks in this trade as well, because the Diamondbacks, they need a third baseman apparently, right? They've been trying to get Evan Longoria, to answer their phone calls, but Evan, he's like, new phone, who this? I don't know who you are. So let's see if the Yankees can not only just trade for Varsho, let's see if they can dump a contract, whether it's Hicks or whether it's Donaldson. Most likely Hicks because he's cheaper, but he does have more years. What's your take on that, bro, before we continue?
Yeah, no, I mean, I said in the very beginning of the show, I have a feeling we end up going into the year with Donaldson on there. Unless this big epic move is something that we're just like, and it ends up where Hicks is gone, Donaldson's gone, and somehow we've got something going on in left field, or they work something out to bring us a dope third base, something, right? So I'm not going to sit here any Friday and give opinions that are going to get me yanked. All right. The last thing I want to do is go watch us and yank myself. All right. That was weird. So as long as it's Donaldson and Hicks being gone, or definitely at least Hicks, that's where I'm at. But man, the anxiety, I feel like I still have anxiety, even though we got the Rodon signing done, because I'm still like, hello, where's that big
what's next?
Move?
What's next? Because that's why I don't want to go 100% get yanked on that Michael K tweet, because we don't know what's next. We're literally just sitting here twiddling our thumbs trying to figure out what's next. But if I'm the Yankees, it's time to go big or go home. And I don't want to give this much credit, but as Yankee fans, we have to be happy that Steve Cohen owns the Mets, because the more money the Mets spend, the more money Hal Steinbrenner has to spend. Point blank, period. You do not want to be overshadowed by the baby cousins from Flushing. You don't want to have that, right? So when it comes to spending, having Steve Cohen having deep pockets, it just puts more pressure on Hal Steinbrenner. And the pressure is going to build if we're just left with Rodon and nobody for left field.
Facts. Before we go, I want to touch a couple things in the chat. One, there was someone in there that said the dude in the hoodie looks like Alfalfa. Little Rascals Alfalfa?
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'll take that.
You know I wish I had the hair for
it.
No, but I wish I had as somebody who is balding and I'm hair impaired on the top of my head. I really wish that I had the alfalfa hair. So yeah, please keep throwing the alfalfa.
How about the other guy? Richie Martinez. The taste of the East River makes the pizza amazing.
That's exactly what it is. I said it, bro. I said it. The dead mobsters, the bodies that's been dumped in the East River for years. That's what it is, bro.
Facts. But I'll tell you, man, I'm hoping next week when we jump back on here for this episode, we're coming in here to talk about an epic trade that was done. We're all happy, but I also hope that we find so many new tweets to just yank.
The first week we was able to have the Aaron Judge conversation, right? The second week, second episode, Carlos Rodon. Let's hopefully we'll see what's next week. But let's shift gears real quick before we dip out, right? It's 4:43. Let's see if we could just talk for a little bit longer, right? When it comes to the bullpen, right? We brought back Tommy Kahnle, right? We're expecting to have Michael King back, right? There's rumors and there's talks that Deivi Garcia is going to be a big contributor to this bullpen. We still have Rob Marinaccio coming back, right? We still have Clay Holmes, Jonathan Lasagna, Wandy Peralta. We have a solid bullpen, right? When it comes to our guys, if they stay healthy, and that's a big part of it. Who do you have out that bunch? Who are you going with as the closer for the team? And people in the chat, let us know when it comes to this Yankee bullpen. Are you comfortable with how the bullpen looks right now? Or do you want the Yankees to go out there to add maybe a Gregory Soto, right? To add maybe a Bendar, whatever his name is, from Pittsburgh, if we trade for Reynolds, right? Bendar, right? Jiggaman, let me know. What's your thoughts?
So I know you and I touched on this a little bit right after the season, where I don't care.
Well, that was it. That's it.
I know that sounds horrible, but
I tried to extend it as much as I can.
As long as I don't have to deal with the pain and worry of seeing Chapman come out there anymore.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I'm happy. I think we're in a position with our bullpen. We know we've got a good depth there. We've got good pieces. I think we can actually start the season to figure out who will be that closer.
I swear to God, L.I. Yankee King, he's like, everyone
doesn't want to admit it. I saw it.
Listen, if Esteban Florial, listen, I'm putting this out there right now. Everyone who's in the chat is a witness. If the Yankees go with Esteban Florial as the starting left fielder next season, I will literally buy L.I. Yankee King tickets to the Yankee game and take him myself. If the Yankees start next season with Esteban Florial as the left fielder, I will literally, L.I. Yankee King, I will buy you a Yankee ticket and take you to the Yankee game myself. I don't care if I got to pay for a bus trip from Ohio, because I'm not paying for a plane trip, a bus trip from Ohio to New York. I will take you to a Yankee game if Esteban Florial is a starting left fielder.
Yo, Nicholas Canizo in the chat. You guys heard what Carlos Rodon said about Kate Upton and Verlander?
No,
I did not. So if you want to drop that in the chat,
yeah,
let us
know.
Bro. Give us
let us know. Give us the tea, because Kate Upton, she tried to throw some salt on Yankee fans, and I hope wherever she is, she stubs her toe whenever she walks into a new room, right? She stubs her toe on the door or whatever. But she said, "Well, at least we went to a team that doesn't boo their own players." Ooh, like, miss, what are you talking? They booed Francisco Lindor. They booed Carlos Beltran. What are you talking about?
Ridiculous. And then Chris Perez Jr. Thanks, bro. I just got upgraded. I went from Alfalfa to the kid from the Sandlot.
Oh, that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. Sandlot's a solid movie. Sandlot's a solid movie. But what kid though? The kid who couldn't catch the ball at the beginning. That kid. Which kid you talking about? Because there's a lot of kids in the thing.
Why'd you insinuate the chubby catcher, bro? Like what?
No, that's me. I'm the chubby catcher, bro. That's me. That's me. LA Yankee said, Hector, you're going to have to get me from Ohio. I bet. All right, bet. If the Yankees have Estevan Florial as the starting left fielder next season, LA Yankee King, I will pay for a trip from you from Ohio to go to a Yankee game, brother.
Last thing, Hector. Last thing before we go.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
Well, now that you'll be going to a game with LI, yo, crazy. What position do you think, if we're about to pull off an epic move, left field, leave that alone. Outfield is not what it's going to be. Do you think they're going after somebody that's going to be in that infield, third base, shortstop? Do we think that this epic trade move could be that Torres is a part of that package and we are getting somebody new?
It could be that, or it could be the Yankees flip-flopping Josh Donaldson with the San Francisco Giants for Brandon Crawford, who's a shortstop from there. You know, he could play third base, first base, and shortstop. It could be that. Infielder, I'm not sure, because left field is that much of a priority, so we need to get a left fielder. When you look at the free agents that's out, JD Martinez, no. David Peralta, he wasn't even, he was okay with the Tampa Bay Rays, but he wasn't a big impact back for the Rays when they traded him going down the stretch. So I'm not sure. I think it's Brian Reynolds or Estevan Florial. Like,
LI, we're going to a game. That's it.
We gotta make sure one of the sponsors can cover that. Honestly, I'm just thinking about it right now.
You're like, damn. We are gonna have him out there.
I just thought about it right now. But guys, you got to let us know in the chat, who do you guys want for the Yankees to go after when it comes to left field? I know Pete didn't want Max Kepler. Neither do I.
And let's be real, the rest of the week, all next week, all we're gonna hear in every conversation is everybody is back to talk about Manny. That's all we're going to hear now for the rest of the year. We're getting Manny next year. Yay!
I don't want those conversations again.
I don't want those. Stop. I can't.
He broke my heart.
I can't go through that again. But before we end the episode, everybody in the chat, first, appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. I mean, it's crazy to have the support on a Friday at 4:00 in the afternoon, right? And, if you guys think this is something we should look at a later time, we'll figure all that stuff out. Talk to the boss man, Mr. Simonetti, backstage, right, Pete? All right. But again, for those of you, I appreciate those of you that already started tagging tweets where get yanked.
Yes.
I love it. Love it. Keep it coming. Tag at NYY News. Hit that hashtag get yanked. You can tag me at Gigaporto. Tag our boy Hector at Project Nerd HQ. Give a follow to both of us on Twitter, KOD Media, NYY News. And man, Hector, episode 2 in the books, bro.
It was phenomenal. Also, too, I want to let the people know over at KOD, Nights of Degen, we had an interview with Ja Rule on the Knicks Morning Brew. That was a phenomenal conversation. If you guys are interested for that, Pete, he pinned the link to Nights of Degen YouTube channel. You can go and check it out. Also, Jerry Ferrara. Also, Scott Braun, we had conversations with Tiki. Jiggerman done had conversations with Tiki Barber when it comes to the Degen huddle and football. But, bro, I'm just super excited for this season to start and what moves are going to happen in the future.
So now that we've done two shows, I guess now we actually can call it a show, right? Like it's no longer just a concept pilot. Like we did 2.
Oh, word. Last week was the pilot. This is the show.
Oh, you know forward. What? We should do this. We should put him on the spot during this show, right? So the fans in the chat can see. Hey, Pete, you back there? All right. So Pete, we would like to know: are you bringing us back for episode 3?
You guys are renewed for as long as you like.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, we're good. We don't have to yank ourselves. I gotta change the way I say that. That's just weird.
It's
you know what's funny? You guys remember? If you guys remember my game seasons when Benny came out, I used to go, Benny likes the yank.
Yes.
I'm just like, Benny ain't yanking no more. That's it.
No more Benny. No more Benny ain't Yankee. Ain't no more Benny Blanco from the Bronx. And I was a dope nickname for a little bit. But listen, I wish him all the best of luck in the future. He ain't a Yankee. So if you're gonna get hurt next year, get hurt on the White Sox, not the Yankees. Point blank, period. The end.
Well, on that note, we're about to take you guys out. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Get yanked, baby. That was 3, but still, the first 2 words are the ones that count.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Good thing he said we're back for episode 3 because we already messed up the outro 2nd week in a row. We promise we'll get better at it.
It's
all right,
New York City
guys.
Public School.
Tag us on social. Go find people. Tell them to get yanked. If you don't like their take, appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next Friday.
Papo Diaz said, "Put Cashman in left field." Yeah, we out of here. Peace.
End it right.